going on YouTube? Today I'm going to attempt to put this foot peg extension kit on the old Raider over there. This is what comes in the kit: fasteners, shifter rod, brake rod extension, and then the two braces that your foot pegs, existing foot peg brackets bolt to. So anyway, it comes in that box, just a UPS box, and it's all wrapped up. So I cut it open. Apparently, which the directions it comes with too, apparently on the shifter side, it's pretty simple. You just unbolt, take the two bolts out and that's holding the foot peg or the controls, forward controls, whatever. And you replace the shifter rod with this rod, and you put, well, first you bolt the controls onto this bracket and bolt the bracket on, then you replace the shifter rod, and then you adjust it and tighten everything down. And this is part of the supplied hardware for that. And then on the brake side, you do the same thing as far as the peg goes, the controls go, and then you just put this extension in the original rod to make it longer. So anyway, probably a good idea to put some thread locker, some blue Loctite or something on these, which really, if you're never going to take it off, red Loctite would be fine. I don't have any with me. I got blue Loctite, so I'll probably put that on there to start with. But anyway, let's get over here and get started on this. It shouldn't take too long just to move. Well, this side should be the most simple side. Also, it mentioned, I didn't mention it, but it mentioned re-zip tying some of these wires to the frame after you unbolt that. But it looks like it may already not be attached to this piece anyway. But we'll find out. It looks like it should be simple and not take long. But if I've learned one thing about working on automobiles, vehicles, or whatever, it usually takes longer than you think, and it's more aggravating just because, you know, something acts up. So anyway, let's just get started on it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I'm going to start with the the clutch side, shifter side, just because it seems like it would be the easiest one to get around to, because the other side's got the brake stuff. The nuts that hold that on are 12 millimeter. So that one was, oh, that's not a good sign. That one was loose already. That was not tight at all. That is not good. Anyway, I guess it's a good thing that I got these son of a guns to change them out, because now the front one was tight, but that back one wasn't. I wonder if somebody's had replacements on here before, extensions before, because like I said, those wires are like they're not even zip tied to it in the first place. So okay, that just swivels. Yeah, those had red Loctite on them at one time, but like I said, only one was tight. Anyway, so I just got to take this off, replace it, and put this on the bracket and bolt it on there real quick. So let me just get this off and get it on the bracket and just see kind of how it fits up. So over here, it's pretty simple. The nut right here helps you tighten for the bar. It's a 12 millimeter. And then to get those other ones off, it's also a 12 millimeter head. For these, somebody, I don't know, they had a nut on here on both of them for a spacer. I don't really know, you know, of course it's probably been off before. Now these that come with the kit, these are Allen head bolts, and they're 8 millimeters. So if you got an Allen head, so like I said, like this, works good. If not, you can use your regular like Allen keys. So basically for this, it'll go on here like this. You have the short, that's why it comes with 4 short bolts and 2 long bolts. You have the short bolts here in the front and the short bolt in the back. Now in this middle one here that goes into the frame, you'll use the long bolt because it goes through both the peg mount and the bracket into the frame. So it utilizes one bolt. So that's how that goes. Anyway, I gotta clean these. I've been running this in there a little bit because those holes, bolt holes in there are like got trash all in them. So I'm trying to get them cleaned out a little bit, and I get it bolted on, and I'll show you what it looks like. Of course, the rod, obviously, one goes on this end and one goes on this end here, and then you just got to adjust the height for your shifter by that, and then snug down this nut here. So anyway, should be okay. Just gotta get those threads cleaned out. I don't know what's going on in there. Like they had a whole bunch of Loctite or something in there. I don't know. They're dirty, but let me get them cleaned out. So I got this out on. Also, I forgot to mention, this is the Pacific Coast Star brand of kit. They have one more kit. I forgot what the brand is. You can look at it and figure out which one you want to get if you're interested. But this is the Pacific Coast Star. I think the price is about the same. There might have been a little bit different specs as to why I got this one. I'm not sure. But I do know this is the stainless rod. Maybe that's what I saw. This said it just had stainless connecting rod, like for the shifter rods. But the other one didn't mention what it had. It might have had steel, I don't know. So I got the stainless because it's not chromed like the original. But anyway, I got this one on. It sits out a little farther, like I said. I figured out why they had nuts under those, and I figured out why, because when you run it on in there, it gets to like it's almost tapping it out, like the hole's not threaded all the way through or something. So they had nuts on them. And this one, the bracket acts kind of as a spacer, so I didn't need the nut under that one. But this one I still needed it because it just goes straight in. And then the front, so the short one goes here, the long one goes through the bracket and the peg bracket. And then another short one goes to the front. It's threaded hole. These two are not threaded holes in the bracket, and this one is to tighten it down. So anyway, there's that. I wanted the 5-inch extension kit to start with, and they had one, but they all sold out before I bought one, and I couldn't find them anywhere. Everybody's out of stock. I guess they quit making them, or just on back order. I don't know, but they had some 3-inch ones in stock, so I put that on there. I mean, it's pretty comfortable anyway, but I figured me as tall as I am, the 5-inch would have been, I would have been able to notice that difference a little bit more. This one, I just sat on it, and you can tell, maybe, see that peg? So you can see the very tips of my pegs. You can tell the little bit of difference. When you're sitting on it, you can tell a little bit of difference. It's a little bit more comfortable, so that's fine. But like I said, I would have wanted to try the 5s, because that would have been probably perfect for me, because most people who are like 6 foot, 6'1", 2", whatever, they would go with the 3-inch probably. But me being 6'5", that's why I wanted the 5. But anyway, like I said, they didn't have it, so whatever, had to settle for this. Got this on. I'm gonna get the shifter rod put on here and get it adjusted to where it shifts where I like it by sitting on it. And then I'll get the other side put on. Or I may get the other side on there and then just go and adjust on the stuff to get it to where it's comfortable. So I went ahead and put the bar on there and adjusted it. So that's all good to go. And I'll take it down the road. Like after I get the other side on, I'll take it down the road, shift a few times, make sure it's right, do some fine tuning after that. But I think it looks pretty good. You really don't even, you know, it doesn't look like wacky, like you modified something that shouldn't have been modified or anything. So that bar, you can see, sticks out a little farther than the frame, but hey, it's pretty good. This one, because the exhaust pipe is in the way, it'd be a little bit more aggravating, but it should be fine. I was wanting to adjust this brake lever anyway, so this will give me a good chance to get all that fine-tuned. So let me get this bracket off and bolt it on like the other one, then I'll get to the bar and see how I like it. I'll show y'all what it looks like when everything's all done. So on the brake side, you need a set of those pliers probably, because it's got right there, if you can see where the bar, the brake, the shift, or not shift, the brake bar connects to. It's got a cotter pin on there, and then a little washer under it. So you just pull the pin out, take the washer off, and then that pin, it'll slide off from over the pin that it's on there. So that's really the only difference here. This side is still threaded, so you just adjust it here, and your this end just, you know, stays permanent, and this end is your adjustment. So anyway, I didn't mention that a while ago. I thought I'd show it to you. When I get the bracket and all on there, I'll run it back out to where it needs to be, which honestly I probably need to kind of get a mock fit. I'm gonna put this bracket on there first and just kind of hold that up there and mock it up to where it needs to be. Which I can twist it on there just before I slide this in there. So anyway. Okay, so I got this side on, and I sat on it. It feels good. I may have to do some fine tuning right here with the brake light adjuster. I mean the brake light sensor is. Figure out when it comes on, you know, compared to when it starts braking. Just piddle with it a little bit. Just get somebody to stand back here and maybe push it a little bit and see when it comes on compared to, you know, ride it and just see how it does. I've sat on it to see how it feels, and it feels good. Like I said, I may have to do some adjusting on the levers, but for the most part, there's a little bit more leg room than there was before. A little more comfortable. You know, my legs are a little bit farther out, so for a longer ride, that should work pretty good. Anyway, that's the gist of the install. You might not have seen some of the stuff you wanted to see, but I feel like I explained it pretty good for you guys. Just thought I'd give y'all a, you know, thoughts, basically how you put it together, how easy it was, which is pretty easy. The only thing that wasn't really that easy, I looked in these holes on the other side and they're threaded all the way through, but for some reason it's like whoever had them off before boogered some threads around the middle, like halfway through, and it just stops right there. I don't know, so that's why those spacers are on there. It seems to be sturdy, you know, that plate's pretty thick. So all in all, I think it'll work pretty good. But anyway, there you go. See y'all on the next one.